how you will teach these sounds to the students in the class. It is very necessary to learn the sound system of English language, as we already discussed, to get the Englishness in a student's language. If they learn these sounds, if they can produce the sounds in proper way, they will be able to get the Englishness out of it. They will get Englishness. It means their pronunciation, their English will be intelligible and comprehensible for everyone, those who speak English. So here we will talk a little bit about how you present or how you teach in the classroom. As a teacher, if you are teaching English, you can find these techniques useful for your class. Okay. So what you do is you put the chart on the board, right? And this can be done in the first class. Students can work on the sounds in the beginning only. For instance, 10 to 15 days, if you a student work on pronunciation part or sound part, they will be able to distinguish among the sounds that are used in English language. So here, first thing that you do is put the chart on the wall with all the sounds, or not necessarily that you have to put all 44 sounds, but you can just work on 12 sounds, or all of the sounds you can put on the wall of your class, and you practice with your students, right? So this is a sort of funny activity. I make the funny activities in the classroom with the students with these sounds. So here, you can produce yourself first with the gesture, or there can be different sort of modeling. You can model the sounds with the help of gesture, or by producing the sounds and asking your students listen to you and get the sound and feel the sound. So very important thing that you have to notice is the teachers have to let their students to feel or to discover or find out the English sound in their mouth, because these sounds are there in our mouth. So if they are able to get these sounds in their mouth, if they are able to discover this sound in their mouth, it will be easier for them to produce the sounds, or comprehend the English sounds in a good manner. So which sound is also a problem, but it doesn't matter if you practice this sound. So you can give your voice, your English, your Englishness to these sounds when you practice these sounds in the classroom. So you can work on it. I wanna slightly talk about the methods that we can present the sounds. Put on the wall, then students you produce with a gesture. When you produce the first sound, you can go for and ask your students to produce the sound, okay? Or if they are not able to produce that one, with your gesture, and ask them and pull from them, right? Pull the sound, and if they say E, pull from them. So this is the technique used by Underhill, and I'm really impressed by his technique. So this technique can work pretty well in our classroom. So you make the sound, for instance, and you ask them to make the sound. They make the sound, and you pull from them, okay? And if they are not able to make the sound, you just produce that with the help of gesture. For instance, E. Can you do that? Ask your students. They work on it. All of them do produce the sound. Sometimes group, sometimes individually. Okay, they work on it. So you produce E. They produce. Pull from them. Okay, pull the sound from them. That may work pretty well in your classroom. And go to the next one, longer one, and also make the gesture, the position of the sound in your mouth with the help of different, your lips especially. Make this sound. Go for making this sound, and this is again pull from them. If they can, that's okay. Otherwise, you produce the sound. Ooh, ooh. That would work. So ask your students repeat it. So they repeat it, okay? Individually or in a whole class, doesn't matter. So later on, what you do is you produce yourself. and ask them to take a move. Ask them to take a move from here to here. So that one is E. Ask them to come here. E. U, E. Okay. So they just go from here to here. They practice that way. So later on, you can ask your students to, put that sound in the chart. So you can give this sound to the student. So give it to the student and ask them to hold it. So if you do this, you are making the sound visible in the classroom, right? So you give this sound to the student, right? Okay, take it, go to the student, give it to them, give one student and ask him or her to take that sound and give this sound to the another one. So now point to the student, ask your students to produce. Okay, produce that sound. Okay, and they produce, and you also produce with them. So you just point out to the students who you have provided this sound. Okay, this sound, and they produce it, and go to the next one, next student, the student that you have provided the sound, right? This sound, oo sound, and just point to that student and ask them to produce. Later on, to the next students, you may ask them to put the sound on the chart only. So ask to the same students to put that sound that you have provided to them on the chart. So ask them to put there. So you say, please put E sound on the chart. So this time you are not giving any sort of guidance, but they come and just put it here. So put on the chart. They put the sound on the chart. For instance, a student comes and puts here. So you just produce E. So they just put it here. Okay. So if you make this sort of pronunciation practice, sound practice, it is really wonderful for the students to improve their pronunciation. They practice their organs of speech and work on their pronunciation. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, Global Online School.